Hi, everyone. I want to welcome you to a master's practice, and we're now doing this live from Podbean. I was on Ohm Times Radio, but I decided to bring this to my own podcast. So we are on Podbean Live right now. And so I want to welcome you to a master's practice. And for those of you that have been following, my podcasts, this is a master's practice, and my name is Aisha Hogan. I am a hypnotherapist and a transformational coach. And what I really like to do is help people get better at everything that they're doing. So today we have a really great guest, and I'm just waiting for him to join us. So what is hypnotherapy? So we're going to try and bring in our guest now. And he is here. I'm just going to get him into the system now because I have never done this before. So we're learning how to do this now. I think I need to get him in as a guest and enter the live studio. Yes, we're trying to get him in. So just bear with me for 1 second here. We've got this going. So what is hypnosis? How many of you know what hypnosis is? And how many of you have ever had it? Today we're going to be talking to Christoffel about, I'm trying to send him an invite and bring him in. Oh, there he is. There he is. We got him. And connect him in.
Yes.
Oh, there he is. I got him.
Wow, amazing. Good to be here, AC.
This is absolutely the first time that I've ever done this by myself. So so for those of you that have been listening since the beginning, I apologize for my stuttering around, but we've got this now. So it's great. So Christoffel is joining us from Amsterdam.
Yes.
And I'm in Ontario, Canada. So that's what I love about the internet and everything, is that we can actually be so far away, but yet be so close.
Yes, isn't that amazing? I'm now sitting having a coffee, and you're probably waking up, being awake, and now starting up. And I'm having 10 degrees and sun, and probably you have minus 45 and snow.
No, we're not at minus 45, but there is a lot of snow. We had a lot of freezing rain and so on. So yeah, so there was a lot of that. So I'm super excited because both Christoffel and I are both part of a HypnoBiz family. And I have met Christoffel because you are part of HypnoBiz Europe. You're one of the co-organizers of HypnoBiz Europe, while I'm the co-organizer of HypnoBiz Canada. And before we get started in this, Christoffel, could you tell us a little bit about you? Like, what is it that brought you into this type of path and purpose? What is it that you do exactly?
Good question. I will give a 1 minute synopsis. Based on my age, I'm 54. Yes, I know I'm 44. The last 30 years I've been in the area of development. So I started off as a behavioral trainer in leadership and management and sales at the #1 company in Europe. And while working with people, I always came aware that we do a lot, we help a lot, and still people don't really change profoundly. Right. They say yes, and somewhere they do no or fall off the bandwagon. So when I had a burnout 15 years ago, I thought, how's it possible? I'm a master behavioral trainer and I got a burnout. I missed something. And at that moment, I really steered in the path of NLP, psychotherapy. I visit I visit almost every therapist to become aware of what's happening and what can I learn.
Right.
Now, somewhere down the track, I came aware of Richard Bandler, and everybody who knows NLP knows Richard Bandler. Richard Bandler is one of the co-founders of NLP.
Yes.
And this is a cheeky story, but this also tells right away everything from Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam at a workshop with him, and it was really in the center of Amsterdam, 1 kilometer away from the most famous district in Amsterdam. And just before lunch, he puts us all in a hypnotic state and says, and probably you just like to visit the place you really like to visit when you're in Amsterdam. And it's totally okay to visit that place. And during lunch, I came aware that almost everybody was walking in that famous colored district.
Okay.
And I thought, what the beep is happening? Everybody's walking here. How did that guy do that? So after lunch,
NLP is amazing. I don't even think people people have heard the term, but there's not a lot of people who are familiar with this neuro-linguistic programming and how powerful it really is.
It is, and Richard Bender, why is he so amazing? He worked together with John Glinter, and he analyzed every letter, every word from Milton Erickson, Virginia Satir, and Fritz Perls, so the Gestalt therapist, family therapist, and hypnotherapist. And based on all those words they used, those therapists, they created NLP. The copying and what he did in that session was actually a group hypnosis and let us walk on the red light district.
Right.
So when I came back, I asked Richard, what the hell did you do, Richard? You're a cheeky bastard. And he started to smile. I said, I didn't do anything. I just put a suggestion in your head of all the things you wanted to do already.
Right.
And on that moment I thought, if this is so powerful that he can let 100 people walk on the red light district, then I like to learn everything about this. Because I had it, now in that moment really spurred, I started to learn hypnosis and even more because I already knew NLP. When I moved to Australia 10 years ago,
which one do you find is more powerful? I started with hypnosis and then I learned NLP. I did it in reverse from you.
For me, it's a potato question, because NLP is based on hypnotherapy.
Right.
So the techniques are somewhat the same. The main difference is NLP you can do, say, in a conscious state with people, and hypnosis, now you ask them to be in a more relaxed state.
Right.
For me, they work both extremely good. Hypnosis, if people like to have therapy with hypnosis, it works extremely powerful because people are willing to get in that state. Because also NLP works the best as really people really get in that state of connecting with themselves.
Right.
So anyhow, that sparked my enthusiasm. I went to Australia, became a therapist, started a school 6 years ago in teaching people how to do hypnotherapy and NLP. And I always say the rest is history. And 1 year ago, I became aware of the HypnoBiz Australia. My students said, be a speaker there. And I said, yeah. And of course, I procrastinated. And then one of my students who's there, also a volunteer in Australia, said, Chris, did you sign up? When we had the class, I said, no. She said, this is the last day to sign up. Sign up now. So I said, yes, boss. So I signed up during the class. She texted Helen, my teacher just signed up. Put him in. He's the best.
Yeah. I'm so jealous. That's the only HypnoBiz conference that I'm actually not going to, is the one in Australia this year.
Yeah. Now, so I connected with Celine, because Celine knows me because I asked a question about the payments. Chatted with Celine, asked, hey Celine, by the way, why am I not in New York? She says, yes, that's a good question. Why am I not in New York? I put you in, pop. So I was put in New York, and then we started to chat more. I said, by the way, I'm flying to New York. Why are you not in Europe? And she said, yeah, I love to be in Europe. I said, I'm born and raised in Amsterdam. Why now? And then we sparred up, and now we organized Amsterdam. So that's my whole journey. And besides hypnotherapy, I'm still a business coach, and I also teach on the IE Business School. And that's the number 9 ranked business school in the world. And I teach their behavioral leadership in organizations. So I have a lot of things, but it all centers about how do people change? How do people really actually live their dream, live their purpose, live their desire, do the things they really want to do?
And the thing is, I think a lot of people hear that. And I get some of the same response sometimes because I work with depression, anxiety, trauma. Like, so when I'm telling people to change their lives, or when I offer them the opportunity to do that, immediately, it's like, oh, this is just another fluffy word for something. And does that really work? And it's just, I think we're trained as people to not believe in ourselves, to not believe that this is not fluff. This actually works. You can change your life. You can become your highest potential. You can become a superhero. Like, you can do all of that.
Yeah, but as you know, I see, because we spoke earlier, the last now almost 2 years I spent in writing a book based on the three brains theory. Actually,
Yes,
we have
which you're
five
going to
brains,
be
but the
teaching.
three
I'm
brains:
so excited.
head,
Yeah.
heart, gut. And I'm extremely passionate about it because it's an extension. Actually, to one step back, we always talk about conscious awareness and subconscious. And I think everybody who listens to your podcast knows the subconscious brain. That is that iceberg that's underneath the water, and it is not tangible. It's something hidden because it's subconscious.
Right.
And that always annoyed the out of me, because I thought, if it's not tangible and it's just subconscious, how can we help people to change there? So when I once saw Robert Dilts 10 years ago, he spoke about words have go into the somatic body.
Yes.
And I had something. Robert Dilts is an amazing NLP guru. He's an amazing guy. If you ever have the chance, people who listen, go to Robert Dilts. He's amazing. Anyhow, he spoke about the somatic, that the words have to go, say, in the body. And I thought, how does it work? And I heard then later on from say, the
Words are
heart brain.
so powerful. Oh my gosh. You know,
Yes.
one of the things that, just sorry to sort
Yeah.
of bring you
No,
up.
that's great.
One of the things that, I'm always telling people is that, they'll always ask me, like, how I want to learn about the law of attraction. And I said, the moment that you started thinking about what you want in this world, you were already using the law of attraction. This is something that you're using all the time. You've already been using it. But I think that because just like when we breathe, we don't think about the fact that we're breathing, but we know that we are. It's kind of the same thing. It's something that they've been doing, but they're unaware that they're doing it.
Yeah, and it's so good that you say, and then we go on. There's also in that sidetrack. In my idea, how the law of attraction works is actually extremely simple. Extremely simple. Just imagine that you would like to have a glass of water or a glass of coffee or whatever. You see a cup in front on the table with water, coffee, tea, whatever. What you actually do is that you have the intention to have that water, tea, coffee, and your hand is already grasping to it without that you think, okay, I have now to move my arm, I have to move my hand, I have to move my shoulder, maybe I have to bend over to get that glass or cup.
Right.
But actually, the fact that you have the intention, I like to have a drink, your whole body is already moving.
It's already responding, yes.
Yes, so, and that's the same for me with the law of attraction. The moment you really put that positive intention in your mind, your whole body and energy is already moving towards it.
Right. And on the other side, some people will sit there and say, I want that glass of water, but then go, it's too far. I'm not going to go get it. So you can either make that, respond to it, take action, or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And what keeps people say stuck in not getting that glass of water is what I say in those three brains. What I came aware of in that subconscious mind, the subconscious mind stops us, because logically we think, yes, I can take that, I can grab the glass of water, it's in my reach, I can do that. Logically, most times we agree, and something keeps us stuck, and that's most times say now as what we learned from school, from our parents. You're not good enough, you're not able, you're born for a nickel, so you will die as a nickel. You're too ugly, too fat, too big, too small, too lazy, too stupid, too whatever. It's all the things we learned somewhere during a life. Or you have some failures in life. You got 3 divorces, you got minors in school. And people then start believing that it's true. It becomes a belief. And what happens, what I came aware, those beliefs are actually stuck in your heart brain or gut brain. Your heart brain is all about connection and love.
Right.
So there's all that rejection, and that you're not good enough, and blah blah blah. That you're too, and your gut brain is all about survival. Survival means fight, flight, sex, or food.
Right.
It's really a simple brain, the gut brain, but it's extremely, extremely strong, because everything that's a risk for survival based on the gut brain's interpretation of survival means it will stop.
Right.
So if you learned once that the heater is hot, you'll never touch it again, because your gut may say, don't touch the heater. But the same as all those beliefs. If it hurts 5 times from your parents, you're too fat, you're too lazy, and you like to do something, your gut brain says, no, 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 you learn from your parents, you're too fat, you're too lazy, don't do it. Even don't try it. So you don't do it. So on that level, we have to change. Now, what I came aware of that you can really access the gut brain and the heart brain. You can talk to them, you can let them talk in their own words or in their own visual somatic movements. And you can ask them questions and they will respond. And on that level, NLP or hypnotherapy becomes 10 times more effective. Because actually, what was subconscious and not visible, it becomes visible.
Right. We actually have someone here who has a question to ask
Absolutely.
you. So we're going to bring them in so that they can ask a question. His name is Meetpal Singh. And let me just connect him now.
Nice.
Hi, are you with us?
Hello.
Hi, how
Hello.
are you?
Yes, I'm fine. What about you?
We're
I'm
doing great.
great, thank you. What's your question?
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada, and Christoffel here is from Amsterdam.
So
Okay.
how can
I also I also want to I also want to come Canada because
okay?
That's
in these days I am preparing IELTS exam. I want to go Canada for getting my higher education, and there are many friends of me living. There are many friends living
So
in
I
Canada.
think you like to I
that's
think you like
great.
to immigrate. Isn't
Yes,
that?
you sounds like you want to immigrate. Yes.
Yes. I
Okay.
want to ask you
Okay.
how we can enjoy our life
How can we enjoy our life?
because sometimes we are having because sometimes we are having fun, but we are hurting to other people, and sometimes we are wasting of money on spending on our fun.
Extremely good question. And
So what's he saying? His question is,
how
how can we have fun
now how
when
can we have
and
happiness?
stop hurting other people?
Yes. Now, in my opinion, say if you look, say, in my definition of gut brain, heart brain, I will put it in that frame. As I said, the gut brain is all about survival.
Right?
And the gut brain thinks about only about me and survival. It's extremely egocentric. And when we follow that brain, it's all about us and about short-term fun and how we can make us now feel better. So that means also comfort food and drinking and all those kind of simple primal things the gut brain loves to do. If you like to go to a higher purpose, as we discussed, AC,
Mm-hmm.
you have actually to follow your heart. Your heart is all about passion, about connection, and it stores all your dreams, what you like to achieve in life.
Right?
So if you also like to stop hurting people, you have to go from your gut brain, what doesn't care about hurting people as long as it's good for me. It
Right?
doesn't, it doesn't like to hurt on purpose, but it will defend themselves for themselves. So if you like to stop hurting, you have to go to your heart, because your heart does not love to hurt, because your heart brain came into this world 60 million years ago when we were mammals, and it's all about groups. So like dogs, like wolves, like all the herds, and it only has as highest intention connection with others,
Right.
belonging. And as we love to belong, as we also as humans love to belong, because if we are born, and when we are born, we're totally helpless, so we have to be connected with our caregivers. If we follow that energy, we will never hurt people, but we will connect with people.
Right.
So
And it
in
is
your
about
answer is
the
going to the connection.
yes, absolutely. Like that whole listening to your gut. I think that's where people lose their disconnect. And I always think it's like when we're listening to our gut, sometimes what our gut tells us is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Christoffel, but sometimes what our gut tells us is to do what it wants us to do is difficult. It's got that short-term discomfort. And I
Yes.
always but there's a long-term gain. So this is how I always equate it when I'm speaking to my own clients, is that think about it like bodybuilding. When we first
Yeah.
start lifting weights, every muscle in our body hurts, but there's
Yes.
this long-term gain. So if we can just get ourselves past this short-term discomfort, we will be able to have pleasure and go into this long-term gain. And a lot of times when we're making a lot of decisions, especially regarding relationships, what our gut tells us to do, there's a lot of fear behind that, because it's like, you mean you want me to walk away from this person, or this is not good for me, or this is toxic, but oh my God, if I do that, what does that mean for me?
Yes.
So there's always this short-term discomfort, but there may be a really long-term gain in that.
Absolutely. And what you said beautifully in the last word is about me. The gut brain only thinks about me. And the basic emotions of the gut brain are also fear and anger in
Right,
survival. Fear makes sense because fear is an extremely good emotion. Because if you walk in the street in the evening, you see 5 people approaching you with a knife. It makes sense to be fearful and run away. The anger is there. If you cannot run away, then you have to defend yourself. So anger range steps in. And they're
right,
extremely simple and great emotions. If we connect that with not situations that's not related to survival, say relationships or what you like to do in life, then actually you use the wrong brain to make a decision. Because passion, everybody who achieved something, if it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in his bodybuilding, Sylvester Stallone in his movies, the Dalai Lama, they all do that from passion.
right,
Nobody goes 7 times to the gym, 2 hours a day, if it's just for survival. They have a
right.
deep, profound passion. I like to do this, and that's
And I think
actually
that's where
that's a heart brain. That's a heart brain thing because a heart
yes.
brain thinks in long term.
And I think that that's part of it. I think the
Yeah.
first thing that people need to understand, correct me again if I'm wrong, is that what is it that you want? Like,
Yes.
I asked that question to a lot of people, and it's amazing how many people, including myself at one point, would have been sitting there with a look on my, like, I could kind of give you an idea of where I might be wanting to go, but there was no hard and fast, like, oh, you're asking me what I want? Well, this is what I want. And I think that most people don't actually know what they want.
No, absolutely. And to challenge you, how do you think it's possible that we unlearned that? As babies, we have dreams.
Right.
Where do you think we unlearned to dream?
And I think it's all really about the belief system. I think, well,
Yeah,
when certain experiences happen in our lives, we become more
yeah,
focused on what happened rather
yeah,
than where am I going?
absolutely. And also just think about school. How many times were you allowed on primary school or secondary school to dream?
Right.
Never.
Never. No, because people told you what to think, what
Yes,
beliefs to have. You're like cattle. Everybody
yes,
sort of says, now we're doing this, now we're doing that, now we're doing this. No, you can't do that. That's not acceptable.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
yeah,
everything, you had to stay inside the box.
yeah, absolutely. From the age we're 5 till the age we are say 16 to 20 or
Right.
23 when we do university, we are taught what to think and what to do. And
Yes.
we are untaught to dream. So all education is actually stop following what you want, but and start following what we say.
Yes.
So
But
as
it's in all
adults,
parts. It's
you,
in all
me,
parts.
and everybody, we stop learning to dream.
Even
So
in
if you now
like,
ask
you
people,
can listen to your religious leaders,
yeah,
your teachers,
yeah,
your parents, all of these people, and I'm sorry to say that, but a lot of parents too, they
yeah,
tell, because that's how they were taught. So they're not doing it on purpose. That's just how they were taught. And it's just this, you have to do it like this.
yeah. How many people are not there? Daddy has a company, so son or daughter should follow their footsteps.
Right.
I'm a surgeon, you should become a surgeon. I studied, you should study. And I say, I'm lucky my parents never forced me to do anything. My dad always said, as long as you passed your exams, it's okay. So I always went for just pass. I never went for the high scores because I wanted to dance, I wanted to sport, I wanted to go out, I wanted to do a job. So I did everything and did that. And when I was educating my kids, I actually did the same. I said, I don't care what your scores are, as long as you pass and as long as you follow your dream. Do what you
Right.
want to do.
Exactly.
My oldest became a primary school teacher. I can tell you, it's one of the lowest paid jobs in Holland.
Yeah.
But he follows his passion. And I think
Exactly.
that's amazing. I think that's amazing.
And that's it. People just
Yeah.
they don't do what they want to do. And I was reading an article the other day, and it's very much true. 80% of our beliefs are given to us.
Yes.
And we don't even test them. We don't even test them if these
No.
beliefs are okay for us. We just
No.
take them on and we own them. But at the end of the day, if you actually started breaking down your beliefs and thinking, do I actually believe this? Like, does this actually work for me? You might start getting rid of your beliefs or re-identifying
Yeah.
what they are.
Yeah. You're so right. And it is same as all the best intentions, school teachers and parents give us our beliefs because that's what they are, how they are educated. And say, and what we are doing actually is let people dream again. And say,
Yes.
what do I love from hypnosis? Where you started, what do you think is more powerful, hypnosis or NLP? The power of hypnosis is actually that people dream again. You connect in hypnosis the heart brain and the gut brain, and you create actually, say, the dreaming phase. What we're going to do in Canada and New York and Australia and everywhere, and that's my long-lived passion for the last year, is to teach. And I say I have now accredited ICF training, so International Coach Federation, also for the Australian Hypnotherapy Association. That training is the head, heart, gut brain, is to teach people how to utilize the head, heart, and gut brain, how you connect with them, how you can
Are you still there?
actually
I think we
align
lost
those three
you.
brains. So if your gut brain says no, if your heart brain says yes, you know it in love. Your heart says yes, your gut says no, your head says, oh, how can I bring that home? How can you align those three brains to make the right decision? And also in other kind of things. And I worked the last 4 years on this concept. I did a couple of trainings of them. In all my trainings, I test out with my students, clients. And I come aware it is so amazing, powerful if you really connect with those three brains that NLP, hypnotherapy, becomes 10 times more powerful. And that is, I love to scream it from the rooftops. People start listening, not because you have to listen to me, but this is almost a golden nugget to make your life happy.
It's true. And you know what? The other wonderful thing about it is in this world of instant gratification,
Oh, yes.
you actually went to if you went, people who are listening to someone like Christoffel or someone like myself who actually practice these things, you will get the instant gratification that you're looking for.
Yeah, and actually it is so simple, change.
Yes.
Everybody who knows me from half a year ago, I'm Dutch, born and raised Dutch. So what is famous from Holland? Dairy. We have more cows than people. And
Right.
most people are cows. Kidding. So we're raised and born with milk, yogurt, cheese.
Yes.
What I love, or loved, past tense, is cheese. I was eating a lot of cheese, a lot of yogurt, and a lot of chocolate because I always love chocolate. So I did a blood test 2 months ago, and I came aware actually I have, say, genetic sign that I could have higher cholesterol. So not based on what I eat or don't eat, but more that somewhere in my genes, I got it from my daddy as a little gift, birth certificate. So, and the GP I was talking to, I said, maybe we should put you on some medication just to lower, say, the numbers of the cholesterol. And that sounds like me, medication, never. So I stopped the day after that with yogurt, cheese, chocolate. And the last 2 months, I did not touch yogurt, cheese, and chocolate.
Right.
And I can tell you that did not happen the last 53 years. And what I did actually is having a discussion with my three brains. Guys, do you understand this? My head said, yes, I do understand this is not healthy anymore, Chris. My heart brain said, oh, that will be a hard one. I love it. And my gut brain said, yeah, for survival, it makes sense we stop. I had a discussion with them. and I never touch it anymore.
Right.
And when you really have an aligned three brain, it's not hard because I was going out with my girlfriend. We're going to a beautiful tapas bar in Madrid. They had really beautiful food, and there, of course, there is a beautiful dessert with yogurt in it. There is something else with, and I did not touch anything. I said something like, "How did you do that? You even don't crave for it anymore. You don't look at it. You don't feel sorry for yourself. You're just happy that you eat something else." And
Right.
that's the power of those three brains. And if people say, change is hard, Chris, I'm addicted to whatever, I say, it's not. If you have three aligned brains, change happens in a second. And
It does change it. It does happen. And also,
yeah,
we guys have to figure out why you want it. Like, so for instance, if you think
yeah,
about, some people love chocolate, and we'll use chocolate because you
yeah,
said chocolate.
yes,
So it's like, okay, so why do you want to end your addiction to chocolate?
yeah,
Like, why do you want to stop
yeah,
eating chocolate? Oh, because, it's not good for me. I'm losing
yeah,
weight, or I'm gaining weight, or whatever it is. Okay, fine. So when you eat chocolate, how does that make you feel?
yeah,
Oh, it feels so good. I just, and they start
yeah,
explaining
yeah,
how they feel when they eat chocolate,
mm,
which is your secondary benefit. Like,
mm,
that's that benefit of eating
yeah,
chocolate. So it's always like, we have to find a way that we can still give you that benefit, but without the chocolate.
yes. And the beauty is, and I experienced it by myself, say, my girlfriend is not here, or otherwise everybody could ask her that, and it's really true. I was having a chocolate now a couple of days ago, and I even did not like it anymore. My body said, no, you don't like it. So
Yep. Once
I,
you
I
kind of
didn't
make
have,
that
I didn't
decision.
have any joy of chocolate. So even my body now resists, and I tested it also with yogurt and with cheese, my body resists it. It does
Right.
not like it anymore, as it was liking it up to 2 months ago with a lot of pleasure. So even my body now gives different kind of signals. And that's what happens if you really let the gut brain and heart brain make the change, because then it has totally different responses on it. So that response to say, how does it make you feel, can also be changed in a moment. Because you're right, because most people say it makes me feel good.
Right.
But actually, if you really would listen to your body, now one piece of chocolate doesn't matter, but if you eat, say, a half a chocolate bar as I was doing, it does not do your body good because you eat so much saturated fat that your body really
Right.
cannot absorb saturated fat. It's bad for your lymph nodes. It's bad for your intestines. It's bad for your health. It's bad for everything.
That's right.
But you can overrun that system as it makes me feel good. But if you really start listening to your body says, no, 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 that's not good. And that's actually what I did in that one day. Really start connecting, what does my body really say? And when I really connected with that, my body said, I told you already for a long time, this is not good, Chris, but you were not listening to me. So,
Right.
and that's the power of it, and that's why I'm getting enthusiastic now. You also work with people, and just like you, I love to work with people who have depression, PTSD, anxiety, addictions, because 1 out of 5 people in Australia and also in America have them somewhere,
Right.
or 1 out of 4. And quote, it is easy to release at least 80% of the symptoms and the issues of it.
I think people need to understand too, like, it's choices. Like, you made the
Yeah,
choice. Even though
yeah,
you knew that it was physically not okay for you to be eating it, it still takes a choice, right?
yes,
And I think that that's where people sort of get blocked. It's like, you need to make a choice. You need to make a hard and fast decision.
yeah,
And these choices, we're making them in every second of our lives. We're constantly
yeah,
choosing. Right? Am I going to brush my
absolutely.
teeth this morning before my coffee or after my coffee? Am I going to get up now or later? Do I want to take a shower or not? Like, we're always making a decision. We're always making a choice. So it's about changing your choices. If you want to change something quickly,
Yeah,
then it's time to
yeah,
change the choice. If something in your life is not working for you, then you need to say, what choices am I making
yes,
for
absolutely.
this
And the choice
particular
you
part?
make is based on your belief system. And what I did, I always said, because if you look at me, I'm looking fit and healthy. I get a low BMI, I got 15% of fat percentage, I'm sporting 5 times a week or doing yoga 5 times a week. So you don't see any physically for me. So I always had the belief system, I can eat yogurt and chocolate and cheese because I look healthy, I'm fit. When I made a change in that one day, I said, actually, um, chocolate, cheese, yogurt is not good for my body. I love my body. It's the only thing I have in this mortal life. Without my body, I don't have this mortal life anymore. I'm dead. I like to treat it the best I can.
Right.
So the belief system is yogurt, chocolate, and cheese is not good for me. And based on changing that belief system, and actually I made the belief system, I am a not chocolate, cheese, and yogurt eater. I eat different kind of things.
Right.
And based on the belief system, if I see now cheese, yogurt, or chocolate, I don't crave for it because I don't eat it. The same, I always say the same comparison. If somebody offers you heroin, 9 out of 10 people say, get out of my face. I'm not a drug addict. I don't use heroin. And they would have a repulsive feeling in their whole body. And if you would put that needle in their arm, they would kick and bite and hit you.
Right.
And that's just based on the belief system. If you create the same strong belief system about chocolate, cheese, whatever you want to do in your life, brush your teeth, follow your passion, your body will follow your same actions. And where we started with the law of attraction, if your belief system is extremely strong, almost everything will happen in your life.
Right.
Because could you imagine, Ashi, that last year, say 1 year ago, that we would now talking together that we are going to meet in Canada, that we're going to meet in probably in New York, and also in Amsterdam about Hypnobiz, that we are co-organizers. I think I would not have imagined it, and probably also not would have imagined it.
But at the same time, we can manifest things. So it's funny that you mentioned that, because I met Selena 2 years ago, not the last Canadian conference, but the one before that. And immediately at that moment, I had made a decision that I absolutely want to work with this woman. I didn't know what it was going to be about. I had no idea in my head what it was going to be about, but I knew that in some way I would be doing something with her. And I thought it was more about my protocol at first. So I'd given her a call about working with my, helping me sort of promote the protocol and how would we do that. And then all of a sudden, one day she calls me and she says, Aisha, I want to ask you something. And she started asking me about different cities in Canada and stuff. And right away I said to her, you want me to run Hypnobiz Canada, don't you? And she started laughing and she's like, stop reading my mind. How did you know that? And I said, I don't know. I just knew that that's what you wanted. So it was amazing. And we get along so well that now I'm doing the Women's Summit as well with her. But it was just I knew it. I didn't know how it was going to come out in the end. I didn't know exactly what we would be doing together, but I knew immediately that I wanted to work with her. And I kept putting it out there. Like I was always calling her and talking to her. And I said, we're going to do something together one day. So I always knew it was going to be something. I just didn't know what it was going to be.
It's a manifesting, because as I told you, I moved 9 or 10 years ago to Australia. I emigrated physically. I really emigrated, burned all my bridges in Holland, went to Australia. And I made the decision also, I like to go back to Europe. I got a girlfriend in Spain, so it makes sense. And flying back and forth like the last years, Australia, Spain, is good for your miles, but extremely bad for your health and for your time, because it's 15,000 kilometers away.
Right.
So I made the decision, I like to work in Europe. And I manifested that, and when I spoke to Celine, it happened. So we're now doing Europe, Amsterdam, Europe Hypnobiz. And so it's manifesting amazing. Your dreams.
Yes.
If I would have said, I don't know how to do it, I cannot do it, then nothing happens. And if people don't believe in the law of intention or the law of, say, sending out your positive energy, or actually start observing, I always like to
I love that word. I love that word, Christoffel. I'm totally cutting you off here. I love that word, observing, because the very first thing that I always tell anyone who is telling me that they want to make a change is observe the words, like spend a week and just observe the words coming out of your mouth. And the thoughts that are running through your head that have been running in the background forever, but you never paid attention to them. So what is it that you're thinking when you wake up in the morning? What thoughts are coming through your head? What are you saying? And all of those thoughts and those words have a vibration and a frequency. And that vibration and frequency, that's your mother tongue. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter if you're Dutch or you're
yeah,
Hindu or you're Turkish like me, or you're from Canada and you speak English or whatever it is. The very first thing is vibration and frequency. And each one of those words have a vibration and frequency. So what are you sending out there? Are you
yeah.
empowering yourself or you are disempowering yourself? And the very
Abs-
first thing to know is what are you doing? Like, what are you saying?
abs- Absolutely. And two things for that. One, about observing. And the moment people buy something new, say a new car, from that moment onwards, they see the same car always driving on the street
Right.
because you start observing that. Now, um, and the second one, you say the words, and for everybody who's listening to the podcast, I will like to challenge you right away to do a little exercise with me, to become aware how it feels, what the words do in your body.
Right.
And you can do it with your eyes open or eyes closed, but eyes closed sometimes works the best, of course, then you feel disconnected. And I would like that you say out loud, my name is, and then your own name. So, AC, I'd like to challenge you. And,
Okay.
if you would be, say, my quote, quote, client for a
Yes, I
moment,
will.
and thanks so much. And put just two fingers on, say, on your, between your eyebrows. So just on top of your head where your pineal gland goes out, your third
Yes.
eye.
Your third eye. Yeah.
Yeah, your third eye. And just say out loud, you can say that. My name is now, and how your name is. My name is Isa. And then in the right pronunciation, because probably I pronounce it still wrong.
Okay.
My name,
My, my name is Aisha.
Aisha, okay. And how does your head respond?
It feels light.
Okay,
Yeah, it feels light. It feels good.
okay, okay. And now please put the same two fingers on your heart and say it again. My name is Aisha. Aisha.
My name is Aisha.
How does your heart respond?
It feels good. It feels good. It
Good.
feels like everything feels good.
Perfect. And now put the same two fingers 2 centimeters underneath your belly button. That's somewhere where your chi is located, your center of your energy,
Mhm.
the center of your gut brain. And say it again, please.
My name is Aisha.
And say, and everybody who listens, you can do the same and use your own name, please. And now, Aisha, do you like to take a challenge with me?
Sure,
Okay, then please, do you speak Turkish?
I do.
I thought already, I knew because we asked. So could you do the same and then say my name is Aisha or how you have been called by your parents in Turkish, and then put your
Okay.
two fingers on your head.
All right.
Yeah.
Benim ismim Ayşe.
I love how does your head respond?
It still feels the same. It feels good.
Okay, feels good. And now put your two fingers on your heart, please, and
But I
say the
speak
same in
Turkish a lot.
Turkish.
Like my relatives were here this whole weekend, so I was
Oh
speaking.
yes, oh that's good. So you practice good. So put your two fingers on your heart and say it again, please. My name
Benim
is Aisha
ismim
in Turkish.
Ayşe.
How does your
Okay.
heart respond?
It's good. It feels happy.
It feels happy. Okay. Do you already hear that's a different word than you used the first time when you said it in English?
Yes,
Now
it
you
was
say,
funny because you didn't ask me how it felt when I did my gut. And then when I did my gut and I said, my name is Aisha, the very first two words or the very first phrase that came into my mind, oddly enough, and it could be because I work with energy a lot, but the word was, yeah, this time.
okay, okay. So now we do it. Now we do it. Now we do it in Turkish. Please put your two fingers on your on your chi and say my name is Aisha in Turkish.
Sorry, put my two fingers.
The two fingers on your say on your chi point, so 2 centimeters underneath your belly button,
Okay, yeah.
and say then in Turkish, my name is Aisha.
Benim ismim Ayşe.
How does your gut respond?
Again, I get the words this time, but it is a powerful feeling. Like it's a like yes. It's a yes feeling.
Okay. And now you become aware actually already that there's a difference how you what the response is in Turkish and the response in English or Canadian.
Hmm.
And that's actually the power of words. You just use words in your body, say your head brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain have different kind of reactions on it.
Yes.
And this is the power of words and how it connects with your brains inside you and what they do and don't do. So now imagine, we're not going to do that here. If you have an issue or a belief system, or an objective. Say, I like to be the best in the world. Make it really obvious, or like to be happy, as the caller said, and you would say, I like to be happy, and you would then do it on your three brains. You'll get responses of them, and they could say, yeah,
Well,
or
the
they would
best
say,
thing to do is
yes, please
probably
do
even
so.
if I said my name was something else.
Yes,
If I say my name is, I don't know, Robert,
yes. Then
like
you're
automatically the feeling is different in my
yes. So
body.
yes, say I always love to challenge, because politics. People like it and don't like it. Um, uh, a lot of times I say to people, just you can use your own prime minister. I ask people, just say, my name is Trump. And people,
I won't even say it. I couldn't even lift my fingers up to my head to say that.
no,
No.
no, no. But do you see already? No, but do you now come aware how your body responds already?
Yeah, so automatically there's a resistance to say no.
Yes.
That's not me.
Yeah, and this is the power of words again. So if you would say, my name is, how do you pronounce it? Trudeau? Is that how you pronounce it right? Your prime minister?
Oh, that's yes, Trudeau. Yes.
And he's liked and not liked. He's at least more likable than Trump, but that's an easy one.
I
So
guess
people also,
it depends on what you like.
yeah, but
There are some big Trump lovers out there. So
yeah, no, it is that yeah, 40 million voted on him. So and he does good things. And don't and there's nobody totally wrong or totally right. Everybody
yeah, that's
has
it.
ways of
Everyone
colors.
has their pros and cons for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So in that part, you come aware what's happening, and what will be discussed about the power of words. And the power of words are amazing to your three brains. So what you said is so true. What we say to ourselves has a profound effect on our heart brain and gut brain, because people are not aware that the words they use or say to themselves will really have profound effect on those two brains, and they will start steering your life, because they're much more powerful than your head brain. So if you
Yes.
say to yourself, I'm too fat, I'm too lazy, I cannot do that, your gut brain will think, okay, I cannot do that, okay, I will stop all the actions in doing so. And it will stop you.
Yes.
And by reprogramming it, yes, I can, and then not in the popular way as, yes, I can, and we jump off the roof and become aware that you cannot fly and we hit the concrete, but in a realistic, yes, I can, people will make massive changes. And that's what I like to bring to this world and love to teach to everybody.
Yes.
And this little exercise we just did, if you let people come aware that their body responds differently on the words, but their three brains respond differently, it's amazing. Because did you have a nickname that your mommy or daddy always called you, Aisha?
Did I have a nickname?
Yeah, that your mommy
Um,
or dad, that your mom or dad always were calling you, as they if they
Not really. No. No. I'm just trying to think. Not really. No.
not really. That is partly
I
yes.
wouldn't call it a nickname. There's no nicknames. Nothing that they would call me besides Aisha. Like that's pretty much it.
Okay, that was also Aisha.
Yeah. Well, Aisha is kind of the Canadian way of
Yeah.
saying it, and Aisha is more the Turkish
Okay.
pronunciation. Yeah.
Okay, then, so because if people have say nicknames, and say if you go to Australia, you get right away your name gets abbreviated. And if people have nicknames from their youth, you come aware it has a totally different emotional bonding already.
Yeah. I think my nicknames, when I think about when you say nicknames, yes, I did have nicknames in school, but the nicknames were not nice.
Okay, we're not going to test that. We like to have a
Yeah.
happy
They were
podcast.
not nice. They were not nice. So when you have a name like Aisha and you come from a
Yeah.
country called Turkey,
Yeah.
that's just ammunition for kids.
Oh
So
yes, yes, yes. And but it's also what I write in my book about education. Uh, Most kids are also educated in school and competition. You have to have the highest scores. You have to be better than somebody else. So, and when we teach people to compete, you also teach people actually to bully. Because if you're
right,
not better than somebody, the only way to be better is to put that other person down.
that's right.
If
And
you,
you
if you,
should compete. You should just try to be better. That's all.
yes, yes,
Yourself.
or start cooperating, coming from the heart brain. If you're from the heart brain, you will not bully.
Right.
If you go for the gut brain, you will bully somewhere or not, or run away, because you like to be better, because you are taught in competition. And for me, competition, the only thing good in competition is doing sports, and for the rest, competition should be somewhere out. In that
Right.
part of putting else somebody down. right? But that's an educational part. But you're right. But bullying also leaves so many scars in people,
Right.
and
So
that's yeah.
we've got a few minutes left here,
Yeah.
Christoffel. And what I would like to ask you, well, I want to say two things. Number one, if somebody wanted to contact you, how would they do it? And number two, if you were going to give somebody a tip that we haven't discussed, something that they could use in their life right now to make change, what would you say that is? So two things, how to contact you and to give them a tip.
Okay, let's first give people an advice what you could do. If they really like to change now, is actually in the exercise what we did, and then change and make it a question. So, dear head brain, what should I do to achieve this? And it will start communicating. The same your heart brain. Hey, dear heart brain, I love to be healthier, happier. What should I do? And your heart brain will start giving answers. And the same you can ask to your gut brain and start doing that.
Right.
And why it's so powerful? Because most times we ask ourselves, what will I do? And we just follow most times the first instinct. So most people have a dominant brain, head, heart, gut. And so we follow our intuition, or we follow our logic, or we follow our passion. Three words. Follow our logic is the head, follow our passion is the heart, follow our instinct is our gut feeling.
Right.
Now, if you follow one of the three, actually use only one quality. So before you make a decision, ask the other two. I'm rather good in following my passion. That brings me to a lot of places, emigrating and those kind of things. But it is not always the best if you like to touch down running. Sometimes it makes sense to think before you act.
Yes.
And I think I heard my whole life.
And in asking even empowering questions, though, that's one of the things that I think that it's important for people to hear is empowering questions instead of why me, why does this always happen to me? Those are disempowering questions. You want to ask empowering questions.
Yeah, and the most important empowering question is how to do something.
Yes.
Because how asks for a route to do something. How can I do something is actually asking for steps. If you ask why, and especially why didn't I do that, that's really setting up for jumping off the roof.
Right.
Because your three brains will answer, and most times not in a positive way.
That's right.
Why didn't you wake up earlier? Because you're lazy. Boom. Now that will not empower you. How do I get up tomorrow morning fresh? Go to bed early. Drink water before you go to bed. And all those kinds. Stop drinking alcohol. Right away gives you empowering answers. That's one. So if people like to connect me, you can find me based on the name on Facebook, on my website, Personal Excellence and Leadership Academy. Based on that, Personal Excellence and Leadership. Right away also the empowering, because we all have personal excellence in us.
Yes, we all do.
We all have it. The only thing is we unlearned to shine.
Yes, and don't compare yourself to other people.
No.
You are your own person. Be your best, not somebody else's best.
Now, we all have an amazing light inside us. Only school and education put something around it. The only thing we have to do is get that obstacle away and we start shining like the brightest sun ever.
Right.
Because all our body cells have a lot of energy. So you can find me on the Personal Excellence and Leadership Academy, also Peel Academy, or on Facebook, Christoffel Sneijders. And please connect me, because really my passion is to help people to make this world a better world. Because we all can change, and we all can make this world a better place. And we have to live on this world with our 7 billion all together. So let's start doing that instead of beating each other up. Let's start working together, because there's enough space for all of us. There's enough food for all of us. There's enough energy and enough money for all of us. There's enough happiness for all of us if we start cooperation.
Yes, absolutely. Agreed. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. What time is it there for you? You're later today.
It's almost 6 o'clock. So I'm going to have a little pre-bite, because probably my dinner will be at 8. I'm now in Madrid.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Much.
And I look
Uh,
forward to meeting you in New York the first time. So that's great. So I will talk to you soon and
yes,
have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for coming in.
yes. Have a beautiful day and enjoy the beautiful winter in Canada.
And enjoy your beautiful weather too.
Okay,
Not that
okay.
I'm jealous at all.
No, no.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.